Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome in. Kevin Hissong with Reign Over Money. Welcome to episode 24. Today, we're going to be talking about weighing wants and needs. Sounds very simple at the just at the surface, but there's a reason that I put it near the top of the Reign Over Money diamond, and that's because wanted to kind of set the stage with many of the pieces that will help you get organized, be more organized, get you started investing, get maybe your investments that you're already doing in shape, get a greater understanding of some things. But wants and needs are extremely important when it comes to I think about it like ringing out every last bit of what you can, maybe from what's coming in terms of income, and putting it into the right places to work for you, to help you reign over your money. Because let's face it, when it comes to the wants out there, the wants are always out there. They're always all over the place. You turn the TV, the commercials, the radio, even your podcast, break in with commercials, whatever. Everyone's wanting you to buy stuff. And that's constantly nagging at what you have in your purse and what you have in your bank, and is wanting your money. So you're constantly defending against that. And in order to reign over your money, you have to have control and say, enough is enough. I know what I need. I know what I want and what I want to spend my money on. And I don't want the wants that you're putting out there. So let's dive into that over the next 15 minutes or so. A little different, and then this is a little more theory-based. But the more, as I've gotten older in life, wants and needs change, and let's, I guess, define that first off. When we all think of needs, there's human needs, obviously. There's, from an emotional state and relationship state, obviously. But in just your needs in life, shelter, food, water, clothing, health, all those things that go forward with it. Everyone's got the hurdles that they have to cross in life. If you're, struggling to afford housing, if you're struggling to afford food, your health is in decline, whatever it may be, that's a whole different story. I mean, you've got to get your basic needs in place first. I guess where I come in and where I come from with this is a little bit of the kind of, like we say, first world problems. You've got some income coming in, you've got some stability in life. How do you take that to the next level and allow the money that you have coming in working harder for you? Now, you can just have a little bit of money coming in, or you can have a lot of money come in. But, and I've seen it. People that have a little bit of money coming in can be fantastic savers, and their wants are very, very low, and they know what they need, and they focus on that, and they're able to save even with a little bit of money coming in. And then there's people that make tons of money that spend it faster than it even comes in. They are so leveraged, and what I mean leveraged, credit cards and debt, and I'm not, railing against a second house or, cars or whatever, but, buying up second houses, buying up cars and beach homes and yachts and boats and toys and everything else that, eventually that lifestyle creep catches up with you, and it doesn't matter what you're making. You could be making $20,000, $30,000 a month, but that's going out in fixed costs for your second mortgage and your fourth car and whatever it may be. So these are the things we have to be aware of. And again, as you get older in life, your wants and needs will change. And let's start with just the general needs, obviously, the housing, food, shelter. But then there's kind of these first world needs of what do I need? What does Kevin Hissong feel like I need to be happy in life? There are some simple things, like in the summer, a half and half iced tea from McDonald's is one of my favorite things. I think it used to be $1.06. To me, that's a good value, and that's a need that, I wouldn't even say that's a need. That's more of a want. That's an approved want, I guess you could say, as I'm thinking through this. And so maybe first world need is not the right word. Maybe it's approved wants. My Apple Watch. that is something from a health standpoint. I'm amazed at how much I utilize it for fitness. I'm amazed how much I use a lot of the utilities on there. A lot of people may look at Apple Watches and be like, that's unnecessary. I even go the extra step and pay the $15 a month or whatever for the cellular, because I love it, because I can go run without my phone and have it on me for safety reasons. And if the kids are trying to contact me or my wife or whatever, that's kind of an approved thing that I'm okay with. But I think where you get into issues is with lifestyle creep. You know, if you're in your early 20s, you get your first job, you got your income coming in, you got your rent, you got your, food that you're paying for, you're probably going out with friends and things like that. And you're going to find, like most people, that you're spending way too much money going out with friends on the weekends. And eventually maybe you decide to cut back on that. Or hopefully you get a raise and you keep up, you keep doing that, but at least you get a raise and you got more money coming in. But as you get further in life, there's different things that'll creep up that may be more important to you. I think one thing that people are dealing with right now is subscriptions. Companies have figured out that a great moneymaker is to have ongoing subscriptions coming in from a revenue standpoint. So the companies love subscriptions. Because that's ongoing revenue. The Netflix of the world, Apple Music, Spotify, a lot of it revolves around technology and this and that. And I think that's one area that it really hurts people, because you're signing up, especially they'll get you with the free trials and everything like that. And I'm the same way. I do it, sign up for the free trials to watch a game or a show that I want to watch, or a game that I can't get in my local area. But I'm very good about setting a reminder on my calendar to cancel before the 7-day trial or a 30-day trial's up. And I do a good job with that. So that's, maybe just an idea for you there to help you stay organized with that. Because next thing you know, again, if you're looking at your downloads of your bank accounts and your credit cards and everything, next thing you're seeing is, $10 here for Netflix and $9 here for Apple and $10 here for Spotify. Next thing you know, it's $100, $200 on top of maybe the cable that you're already paying for and whatnot. So I think what it comes down to are, those needs are, whether they're, absolute life needs or maybe more lifestyle needs or approved wants, those are kind of the fixed costs in life that you're okay with. Where it gets iffy and where people starting to get into trouble is where those variable wants come into play on a monthly basis and really start to drag you down. Because this is a game, and a month-to-month game is, hey, this month did I make more money than I spent? And if you're saying yes, 1, 2, 3 months in a row, awesome. If you can say yes for the entire year, you are truly winning. We don't do it every month. I mean, there's certain months that our outflow is definitely much more than our inflow, and I don't like that, but I will look at that and I will make adjustments where need. And usually the issue is the variable costs are much higher, whether it's shopping, home improvement, whatever it may be. Now, a lot of that stuff, hopefully we've planned for, but it's the variables that get you time and time again. I think another one that people get into trouble with the wants versus the needs. And a lot of it goes back to, technology now has allowed us to do so mmany things and be a little lazy. And food delivery is huge among that. The DoorDash and, everything else that goes Uber Eats and whatnot. The extra cost, and that's one reason I actually hate using it, is because I can never quantify how much I'm actually paying for a DoorDash. If I'm getting some from Panera or, pizza or whatever, it's tough for me. Did I pay $8 extra or $10 extra for DoorDash? I never even know. So a lot of the times I'll say, screw it. I'll go pick up the pizza. Even if I'm tired, I'll go do it. But it's just little things like that add up over time. If I'm doing that, we'll get pizza once every 2 weeks or whatever. That's $20 a month just doing that. Maybe the kids have something going on and we're ordering Panera or whatever, make it easy. Again, that's something easy to go and pick up. It's a different story if you're not in a convenient location to do so. But if you've got the opportunity to take advantage of these things, you've got to be a little cautious of the laziness lifestyle, because it can really affect the variable side of your costs. And that's really all we're trying to control. If you can, if you can first off control, I think everyone can pretty easily get a grasp on how much am I paying on mortgage or rent, how much am I paying for education, how much am I paying for utilities. That's pretty standard. Now, obviously with utilities, yeah, you can cut the heat back a little bit, or the air conditioning or whatnot, or the water. You can try and save on some water or whatever for your bills. Understandable. You can cut a little bit there. And we've actually done a good job of that. I've actually noticed with the new HVAC units that I mentioned in the past that we had installed, our utility bills have come down quite a bit. So that's a good thing from a ongoing fixed cost or the needs standpoint for comfort and shelter. That's still very, very important. But again, that variable side is what's going to crush you. So I wanted, again, to have this near the top of the diamond, because there's so many things that you need to get under control and organization. And then this does go back to organization, but this is a little more advanced, because once you get that true understanding, hopefully you're using something like Mint or whatever, as we've said in the past, to download and track how you're budgeting things, and you can see the differences. And then you can make some educated changes. I'll tell you one thing I'm going to do for 2024. I do love Starbucks. I really do. There's one drink I always get. I always get a mocha, same way, extra shot of espresso. Always done it. But I noticed just the other day that for the first time, my drink crossed $7. Now, apparently it was okay for me to pay. Now, I'll go back and say, when I started drinking these mochas, they were $4.25. I'll never forget, because I'd always get them on my office days, home office days on Fridays. I would always get them in the morning and come back and do my expense reports and everything. They're $4.25. Now that drink is $7. And for some reason, to me, $7 is the flag that I said that's just enough. I can't do it anymore. So I'm going to set a goal for myself to try and spend less than $100 for the entire year of 2024 on Starbucks. So I'm going to spread out my drinks over time, and it's going to be much more of a treat than before, because $7 is just crazy for a cup of coffee. It really is. $6 was crazy, and $5 is crazy. We all know that, because the Susie Ormans and Dave Ramsey of the world tell us to cut down on your coffee spending. Well, $7 for me has finally reached the point. So sorry, Starbucks, you're going to see a drop in your revenues, because I've had enough. and hopefully there's things you see out there too, where you just finally say enough is enough with how expensive certain things are. We've seen it. Inflation has affected us all in different ways, and there's certain things that are more costly to some people than others, and for me, coffee is just one that's triggered me. So, think about that again. Be organized. Take a look. We're getting near the end of the year. It's a perfect time to kind of take a look at things, set a plan for next year, set some goals for next year. I think the first goal is to try and get net positive on a month-to-month basis. Maybe you start simple. Maybe you start with your gross income, and by gross I mean that's just how much you make before your taxes come out, before everything else. Just start by getting your gross income higher than your outgoing expenses. Start there. That's not where we want to be, though. We want to be to where our net income, what we actually see on our paycheck, what goes into our checking account, what goes into our savings account, what goes into our investment account, what goes into our 401ks. We want to get to a point where that is more than our expenses. If we're at a point where that is happening on a month-to-month basis, again, we're winning. But start simple, just get it for 1 month. And then, what did you do right? What did you do wrong? And make adjustments, and try and continue that over and over and over, so that you finally get to a point that every month your revenue is higher than your expenses, just like a company. Treat yourself. You are your own company, and companies don't stay in business long if their expenses are higher than their revenues. And then be cautious of lifestyle creep. I've mentioned it before, but lifestyle creep, if you're not familiar with it, it's you're getting raises, you're making more money, and as you make more money, you just spend more money. A lot of it happens kind of sneakily. We don't realize it, but it is lifestyle creep, and little things. It's, oh, I got a raise, so instead of just having Netflix and Amazon Prime, I'm going to add Paramount, and oh, there's a show on Hulu, so I'm going to add Hulu as well, and oh, we can go out to eat a couple more times a week. One or two of those things is fine, but when you start adding 4 or 5 of those different variables based on your raise, you've already wiped out whatever raise you got or whatever bonus you got or whatever. So lifestyle creep is a huge part to being organized and being able to have that extra disposable income, because there is no better feeling than at the end of the month, end of the quarter, having a pot of money left over and being able to put it in an investment account, add more to your Roth IRA or your traditional IRA or whatever it may be. Those are the things that will allow you to, now you're reigning over your money. Now you are owning it, and you are heading in the right direction, and that's only going to increase your net worth. Maybe you're buying some ETFs that pay dividends, maybe you're buying some individual stocks that pay dividends. Those things, those stocks, those ETFs behind the scenes are now paying dividends, and you're reinvesting those dividends, and it's working harder for you. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's what we want our money to be doing, is working for us, not going and making the Netflix of the world richer and the Starbucks of the world richer going forward. So let's make our companies successful in 2024 and going forward, not the other companies out there. Hey, they do a lot of good. They do a lot of good for the economy. They do a lot of good for employing people. But hey, let's be a little greedy this year, and let's try and cut back on the variable wants. Even if it's one thing just to start, just cut back on something. Mine, simple thing, but Starbucks, I don't even want to know. I'll probably look through and see what I spent on Starbucks this year, but it's way too much, and I'd be disgusted to tell you what the number is. So that's my goal this year, and hopefully I'll find some other things as well. Hopefully you will too. So we talked about weighing wants and needs. Again, needs, there are the fundamental needs of life, and then there's kind of the first world needs, or the approved wants in life. And then there's those wants, those things out there that we'd all love to have a new car, and hey, go get yourself a Tesla Cybertruck or whatever out there, and have an $800, $900 car payment or whatever. No, we don't want that. That's money that could be going into our investment accounts and growing for us, and continuing to grow and multiply over time. So let's try and cut back on those variables that increase month to month, year over year. Hope this was a nice little addition to the Reign Over Money diamond. We've got one more episode that will close out the Reign Over Money diamond, and then the last episode I'll do for 2023 will just be a recap of the whole diamond, just touching again on the subjects before we get into 2024 and focus on some specifics on each category. So again, concluding episode 24, weighing wants versus needs. Kevin Hissong, Reign Over Money. Got any comments, got any ideas, different things that you're going to do, let me know. And find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram, visit the website, shoot me an email at kevin@reignovermoney.com. And we look forward to hearing from you. And thank you again for tuning in and for sticking around with us for the year. We'll talk to you again real soon. Take care.